Guns Akimbo is a Daniel Radcliffe movie which had a festival run in 2019 and then was released on streaming services in 2020s. Might have also had a theatrical release, but it didn't come out where I live. I thought it was okay. There was a lot of things that I typically like in this movie, but there was a lot of things that kind of didn't sit right with me and held the movie back, in my opinion. Daniel Radcliffe does a great job. I've really enjoyed everything he's done post Harry Potter. I also like the Harry Potter movies, but I just think that he himself has done a really good job. Even in movies that I don't particularly like, Women in Black, for instance, I thought he did a good job. He's very talented. The movie, I'll get through the positives first, and then I'll end on the negatives. Things I liked, I thought there was some creative camera work, some interesting editing choices. I liked the look of the movie. It has a pretty cool aesthetic. As I already said, Daniel Radcliffe's performance. There are some funny moments, but when I get to the negatives, I'll explain how I feel about that a little bit more, but there were some moments that I did find funny, and I thought that there was some fun gore. Other than that, there wasn't much else I enjoyed about it. Despite the fact that I did find some moments funny, a lot of those were moments carried by Daniel Radcliffe. The rest of the humor I found to be a little bit try-hard, a little bit cringe. It had a very boomer writing millennial Gen Z humor. You know, like the whoa, this is such a retweet moment. That's not a line in the movie, but that's the kind of humor that we're getting. It's like, yo, I gotta upload this to my Instagram when something violent happens. That kind of shit. And I hate that. Also a lot of like, yeah, I'm a gamer type stuff, which was also pretty cringe. There's a lot of cringe in the movie. The supporting characters I didn't like largely because of what I just described. A lot of what they say comes off very, forced or is awkward. They don't have quite as much charm as Daniel Radcliffe, especially the main villain. I didn't feel like his character was very well defined. He's this brutal maniac, but he's also kind of a sissy, and he finds murder to be art, so he fancies himself an artist, and he's also vengeful. Like, it felt like they were trying to make him every kind of modern action villain, comedy action villain, and just kind of wrap all those villains that we've seen in these types of movies into one, where he's ruthless, but he can be kind of a bitch sometimes, but he's also artistic, and he's also this, that kind of vibe. Whereas I did enjoy some of the gore. I thought some of it was kind of fun and creative. There's a lot of CG blood, which looks very fake. I'm not inherently against computer-generated gore. I think it can be done well and, is necessary in some points. But in this movie, there were some times where it was like, I would have just preferred a squib or some real gore, or real fake blood, I mean. But the practical effects do look pretty amusing and good. I think that it was paced all right. I did get bored at some points, but there's usually always something happening to hold your interest. The movie reminds me a lot of Nerve, which came out a couple of years ago. I preferred Nerve to this just because I felt Nerve was more focused. It was kind of jumping all over the place, and some plot points led to kind of uninteresting climaxes. Like, there's some subplots that maybe have a predictable twist in it and just ended up not being as interesting as you would hope, so it kind of made it feel not worth it. Yeah, overall, the movie was mediocre at best. I don't know if I would recommend it. I might recommend it just for Daniel Radcliffe's performance, because I really thought that he did a good job. I love how disheveled he gets, and just his descent, really. So if you're hankering for some Daniel Radcliffe action comedy, then sure, give it a watch. But I just say it's kind of middle of the road. Maybe this is your type of thing. Maybe you're really into the kind of gamer internet culture humor. Sometimes I am, but I just don't think they did it well in this movie. But maybe you're willing to give it a shot, like I said. So I'm going to give it a 6 guns out of 10. Man, these ratings are getting pretty lame. Thank you for watching.